friends are heading now. I'll let you go.
I had an idea to get to Lincoln's army.
All right, go on then.
There was a place in Louisiana where nearly 350,000 slaves were forced to work in cotton fields, all under the control of a man known as Senator John. Among these slaves was a man named Peter, who worked with iron. One day, while he was at home praying with his family, two men suddenly arrived and ordered Peter to come with them. He refused, not wanting to leave his family behind, but the men were extremely cruel. They began to torture him and even pointed a gun at his wife, threatening to kill her if he didn't comply. Left with no choice, Peter was forced onto a slave wagon. From there, they took him through the jungle, traveling for nearly 2 weeks before reaching another location. At this new place, there were many black slaves, all forced to work on building a railway track. The conditions here were far worse. Slaves were brutally abused and pushed beyond their limits. Now Peter, too, had to work alongside them. As he spent time there, he learned just how cruel this place was. Another slave told him about a man named Jim, the master in charge who controlled everything. Jim was ruthless. Anyone who disobeyed him was killed without hesitation. The slaves were worked so hard every single day that by evening, they could barely even stand on their own feet. Every evening, the slaves had their hands and feet tied and were locked together in one place, where they lay in pain, groaning from the day's torture. Peter asks them if they don't miss their families, but they reply that no matter how much they remember their loved ones, there is no escape from this place, and they will all die here. Still, Peter keeps his faith in God. He believes that if not today, then someday, by God's grace, he will escape and reunite with his family. The next day, while working alongside the other slaves, Peter overhears two guards talking, saying that Abraham Lincoln has ordered the freedom of all slaves, and soon they will be free. Just then, one of the guards notices that the bread made by a slave isn't good enough and starts beating him, which deeply angers Peter. He stares at the guard intensely, and the guard, noticing this, calls Peter over and prepares to shoot him. But at that moment, the master of the place, Jim, steps in and stops the guard from killing Peter. That night, as Peter sits with the other slaves, Jim comes outside and tells him, "I am your God. You are my dog. You live because of me." Peter responds that if that's true, then he should at least be given the same food as Jim's dog, revealing that Peter and the other slaves are fed even worse than the dog itself. The next day, when Peter returns to work, Jim tries to intimidate him using his dog, but then lets him go without causing harm. During lunch, Peter tells his fellow slaves that Abraham Lincoln has ordered the freedom of all slaves, and that many of them are heading toward Baton Rouge, which is about 5 days away. He explains that the path is filled with dangerous swamps, but once they reach there, the army will protect them. Hearing this, a few more slaves decide to escape with Peter. After that, they go back to work, and during labor, one of the slaves dies. Peter is ordered to carry the body to another place, but when he reaches there, the guards prepare to shoot him. In that moment, Peter fights back, kills the guards, and makes a run for it. A few other slaves also try to escape with him, but most of them are shot down by the guards. In the end, only 3 slaves manage to escape alongside Peter. Now the 4 of them run through the jungle toward a pond filled with deadly alligators, while Jim chases them with his men and fierce hunting dogs. With no other option left, Peter and his 3 companions are forced to jump into the alligator-infested water. Peter and 2 of his companions jump into the pond, but one of them loses his nerve at the last moment, and just then, Jim's dogs catch up and attack him. Jim arrives as well and kills the slave on the spot. Meanwhile, Peter and his 2 companions somehow manage to cross the dangerous, alligator-filled water. After making it across, the 3 decide to split up in different directions, so Jim and his men won't be able to catch them all at once. As Peter keeps running, he eventually reaches a house where clothes are hanging out to dry, so he steals some and starts wrapping them around his injured foot. But a young girl from the house spots him and begins ringing a bell, alerting others. Jim, who is nearby searching for him, quickly arrives in the area. Peter once again runs for his life and hides in the same alligator-filled pond. When Jim gets there and sees the alligators, he assumes Peter would never enter such deadly water and leaves the area. After Jim is gone, Peter tries to come out of the water, but suddenly an alligator attacks him and drags him under. Peter fights back desperately and manages to kill the alligator, but he is left badly wounded. In immense pain, Peter somehow survives the night alone in the forest. The next day, Peter covers his entire body in mud because he knows Jim and his men, along with their hunting dogs, are still searching for him, and masking his scent is the only way to avoid being tracked. Even in his badly wounded condition, Peter pushes forward, determined to reach his family as soon as possible. As he continues his journey, he arrives at a place where there's a wooden platform, and there he lights a fire, heats up his knife, and presses it against his wound to stop the poison from spreading through his body. Nearby, he finds a small wooden boat, which he plans to use for the next part of his journey, but before leaving, he collects some honey from a beehive so he'll have something to eat along the way. At the same time, the story cuts to Peter's wife, where a man comes to her and tells her that her husband, Peter, has been sold to someone else and will never return. He then orders her to come with them to work at another place, threatening to kill her son if she refuses. With no choice left, Peter's wife agrees to go with him, and the man tells her that he will return soon to take her away. Peter is then shown abandoning the boat and continuing his journey on foot, when he suddenly comes across another one of his companions, who is also hiding from Jim, his men, and their deadly hunting dogs. Both of them are desperate to survive, but soon they hear the sound of the dogs getting closer, realizing it's only a matter of time before they are found. Peter spots an onion nearby and tells his companion they should rub it on their bodies to mask their scent, but his companion refuses. Peter applies the onion to himself anyway, and the two of them start running, knowing the dogs are closing in fast. With no other option, they both hide. Peter's companion climbs up a tree, but the dogs quickly pick up his scent and locate him. Jim orders him to come down, but he refuses, unwilling to surrender and become a slave again, so Jim kills him on the spot. Jim is determined to find Peter at any cost, but because Peter has covered his entire body with onion, the dogs are unable to track his scent. Eventually, Jim and his men leave the area. Once they are gone, Peter comes out of hiding and continues moving forward. After wandering the entire day, he ends up back at the same house where he had stolen clothes earlier, the place where the little girl had seen him. And this time, Peter sees that the entire house is burning. When Peter enters the burning house, he finds some food to eat, and he also discovers a young black girl who likely worked there. He brings the girl outside, but suddenly one of Jim's men appears behind him and holds him at gunpoint. The girl Peter had just rescued dies, and in that moment, Peter manages to snatch the gun from the man, kill him, and escape once again. Jim's hunting dogs are still chasing him, so Peter kills them too. And after running the entire day, he finally reaches a place far away where many wounded people are lying around, and the sound of gunfire fills the air. Peter realizes that a battle is going on, and just then, Jim arrives on horseback, ready to kill him. But before he can, someone shoots Jim from behind and kills him. These men turn out to be black soldiers who take Peter with them to a camp where many injured soldiers are being treated. Peter receives medical care there, and once he fully recovers, he is taken to an officer. Peter tells him his entire story, how he was tortured and sold from one place to another. The officer explains that a war is being fought to free black people, and they want Peter to join them. Peter agrees and becomes part of their side, and there he is, reunited with one of his companions who had escaped with him earlier, now injured, and Peter is overjoyed to see him alive. A few days later, some men arrive, and Peter is told to show them the brutality slaves have endured. He removes his shirt, revealing deep scars across his back, marks left from severe whippings that still stand out on his body. A photograph is taken of him so the world can witness the horrific abuse inflicted on slaves. The very next day, Peter marches into battle with his army, which is part of Abraham Lincoln's forces, determined to free the black people who are still enslaved. They fight with incredible bravery and succeed in freeing all the slaves, ultimately winning the battle. Afterward, Peter returns to the place where his family is, and he is overwhelmed with joy as he reunites with them. His wife is still there because she had deliberately injured her own hand to avoid being taken away to another place. Peter is deeply grateful to be reunited with his family, and he thanks God, knowing that it was his faith that gave him the strength to survive, and that same strength has finally brought him back to his loved ones.